So now we're in the exhibit, right? And so behind us, we've got, what is this guy?
This giant plant eater, this giant sauropod is called Astrodon. And Astrodon, even though it eats plants, you don't want to mess with big herbivores. Think of rhinos or hippos. And it's stepping on the throat of the predator called Acrocanthosaurus. And both of these dinosaurs were found near Baltimore, Maryland.
Really?
Yeah.
So everything's so close by, it's kind of creepy, actually, if you think about it. And we'll talk about that too, about the how close 66 million years actually was to us, considering the amount of time that Earth's been here, right?
Yeah, that's right. If you condense the whole history of the Earth, the 4.5 billion years into a 1,000-page book, well, 66 million years ago is page 880, and our entire 10,000-year civilization is the last word of the book.
And we're like the period. So this guy is...
This is Hadrosaurus. And Hadrosaurus is found in 1858 in Haddonfield, New Jersey, about 11 miles from here. And before Hadrosaurus, people didn't really understand what dinosaurs were. They were first known from really scrappy remains found in England. They thought they were like these big puffed up lizards. And then this is found. And it's taken to New York. The first mounted dinosaur skeleton is created. And the world finally gets a look at what dinosaurs are really like.
Alrighty, so we've got, what is this guy?
So this is our local tyrannosaur called Dryptosaurus, found 1 mile from here in Ceres Park in Mantua Township in 1866.
That's a, so what is the scale difference of what these guys were actually, how big they actually were when you found them?
Well, this is full size.
This is full size.
Everything that you see here is a full size, fleshed out reconstruction.
Okay.
And of course, everyone knows T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
T-Rex isn't the first tyrannosaur discovered. This one is. This is found in 1866. T-Rex isn't found until 1905. So, world's first nearly complete dinosaur skeleton, South Jersey. World's first tyrannosaur, South Jersey.
There you go. What's this little guy up there?
This is a baby Hadrosaurus. And what's happening, we have a little scene here. So the big bad Dryptosaurus is about to leap over the aisle and attack the baby Hadrosaur. And Mama Hadrosaur is whipping around in a fury to defend her young.
Ah, I see. So if you get a good look at that, there it is. One, defense, and the baby. Very fun.
And don't mess with Mama.
And look, and you put this all together, so you had the design that this was going to look like this, so that was telling the story.
Yeah, we were fortunate to work with, in my estimation, the world's best paleo artist, a guy named Gary Staub in Kansas City. And Gary and I worked very closely together on all these poses and the colors and the depictions, everything, the backstories.
Right. So this guy reminds me of the bird from Up. Reminds me of Doug from Up, but what exactly is this guy?
Well, that's fair because all birds are actually dinosaurs. So Doug was a dinosaur, what we call an avian dinosaur. This is a non-avian dinosaur, so a non-bird dinosaur, but it's fully feathered because feathers evolved before birds evolved. And so feathers were an adaptation that certain dinosaurs had. And it was first for insulation because if you can keep your body warmer, those calories can go into growth rather than to heating your body. And then they became signaling devices. So, you know, think of a cardinal or a blue jay. So for mating and threat displays. And then later, feathers evolved into flight.
What made this guy so special though? What did he do?
This is called Ornithomimus. And this, we think, is about the fastest running dinosaur. We think they could go about 30 miles an hour.
Wow.
And you can actually tell the speed of an animal if you know its hip height and its stride length. So obviously we know its hip height, and there are 2 tracks there. And I spaced them the right distance for it to be running at 30 miles an hour down this beach with a lizard in its mouth.
It's amazing. And if you can see behind us, on the wall behind us, you see the birds flying.
Those are pterosaurs, flying reptiles.
Yes, and they are projected on the wall. It's amazing. When you come here and you hear the soundtrack that's playing in the background, and you see that kind of stuff, and you'll eventually see what is walking across the ground eventually.
That's a hadrosaur.
A hadrosaur.
Yeah.
So eventually that's walking across the ground as well. It's also projected on the wall. So it's very cool. It's a very amazing thing to see. The wall is actually a lot of fun.
It is.
It really is. So we're gonna go to the next thing. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this is the little diorama here that we got going on. So tell us what's going on here.
Yeah, we have 10 of these little portals, and they're way down low. They're for the littles. They don't have any words. You don't have to be able to read. But it tells the story of Mabel the mammal, our ancestor, and she's having a hard time because she lives in the world with dinosaurs and she tries to bake a cake and that doesn't work, and she tries to hang a disco ball and that falls, and she tries to paint a picture and that doesn't work.
When you get in there.
And then later on, there's a big boom and Mabel comes out and the dinosaurs are gone. And then in the end, you'll see she's painting a picture and baking a cake and disco dancing and doing all the things that mammals eventually do.
So those little portals, how many are there?
There's 10 of them.
10 of them. So they're all throughout the museum. So when your kids are here, the little guys and little girls, they get to actually do something fun too. So I think that's a really cool idea. We just missed the dinosaur. Is it a growl?
Yeah.
It's a growl. And behind us is the pterodactyl?
Yes, well, it's a pterosaur. It's called pteranodon, is the type of pterosaur. But these are not dinosaurs. Your children's books have lied to you about that. These are flying reptiles. So they don't have a dinosaur in their family tree, but they were everywhere during the time of the dinosaurs. Some of them, like Quetzalcoatlus, found in Texas, are as tall as a giraffe and have a wingspan of a Cessna. This is a pretty big one. The pteranodon has a 9-foot wingspan, and they were common in this area.
It's pretty big. If you're old enough to remember the movie War Games, and they went to the island and they saw that pterodactyl flying across the lake, I was just saying to Doc, wouldn't it be cool if outside on that lake you have one of them flying across? So keep your eyes peeled because I think that might be coming soon.
I like it.
So this is, you just told me, the dead Dryptosaurus.
That's right.
What's so special about this guy?
Yeah, so the Dryptosaurus story is kind of a 3-part story. So at first, it's attacking the baby hadrosaur over there. Mama hadrosaur whips around to defend her young. She wins that fight. And now we have a dead Dryptosaurus lying on the beach here with this horrible compound fracture. Now, there's a reason why we're doing this. It's not just to be gross, and you'll see that a little bit later on.
All right.
So Tim, we're entering a really special place here. This is called Monster Seas. And all of the animals that you see here and all the fossils on display were found right here at the Edelman Fossil Park Quarry. So it's as local as you can get.
It's about as local as you can get. And behind us, here we go, we've got them. We've got
This is called a Thoracosaurus, which is a type of crocodile, a gavial crocodile. And we found a 25-foot long Thoracosaurus skeleton about 50 yards from here, and that's what this reconstruction is based on. And the skeleton itself is actually on display in the next gallery.
Right, and you've got all the little guys on his back.
Yeah, these narrow-snouted crocodiles, they don't have room in their mouth like an alligator does to carry the babies, so the dads carry the babies on their backs.
What was the point of the snout being so narrow? It has to be a reason.
Well, they're fish eaters, they're ambush predators, so they don't want a lot of water resistance. So they lie on the bottom of the sea with their mouth agape, and when a fish swims in, they just snap it really fast.
Well, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got then and now. Let's talk about then and now.
So this is Mosasaurus behind us. This is the all-time apex predator of the world's oceans. And these are found right here because we were under about 70 feet of water then.
Right.
And now obviously it's dry land. The coastline would have been a little bit up into Pennsylvania, and dinosaurs are living on that beach. And these seas are haunted by these giant sea creatures, which ate everything in the ocean, including other mosasaurs. We have mosasaur skulls with mosasaur bite marks in them.
Take one step right so we can just show how long this guy is, right? Just check out how long this guy is. Look at that.
It's 55 feet long.
Isn't that amazing?
As long as a bust, paddles for limbs, it has a 6-foot jaw. And then if you can see up inside of its mouth, it has a second set of teeth at the top of its throat that points backwards to keep you from swimming back out.
That's kind of creepy if you think about it.
It's a sea monster.
All right, so we've got, right behind us, we've got drifting out to sea. That's this particular exhibit, right?
Yep. All dinosaurs lived on land, but here at the Edelman Fossil Park, we have all marine deposits, yet occasionally we find dinosaur remains. So how does that happen? Well, that's our 3-part Dryptosaurus story. We have the attacking Dryptosaurus first. It loses the fight with mama, ends up dead on the beach, then gets swept out to sea. And we know this from crocodiles today. First, they fill up with water, they sink, and then they start to bloat with decay gases, and they float out to sea like a giant rotten meat booty. And they start to get scavenged. And so in this case, is a baby hadrosaur femur that has shark bite marks in it. And that's what this is based on. And to get ready to sculpt this, our sculptor, Gary Staub in Kansas City, he got a dead plucked chicken, put it in an aquarium outside in the summer, and watched it rot for a month until his wife made him throw the whole thing out. But he watched how it bloated and unfolded and rotated, and this is the exact pose that the chicken struck after a month of rotting.
I hope when I die, nobody puts me in a fish tank for a month. That's all I'm saying. So there's so many things for the kids to do here, and behind us is, this screen over here is one that kids can come up and touch and play games on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then behind us is the leaderboard, right? There's so many kids on this leaderboard. It's very cool. I'm not quite sure what the high score is, if it's 534, if it's the screen behind it. I can't tell. It says boss level. Is that the highest level?
Yeah, well, we have 3 different levels. So we have these fossil boxes, and we put them around the museum, and we change their location every day. And with their Explorer key, the kids can find the boxes, tap on them, and now they get credit for finding that fossil. But they have to come over here to the leaderboard. And if they're just little kids, it's, yay, you found a fossil. But then the next level up is you have to identify that fossil based on some pictures. And then the third level, the boss level, you have to know the genus and species of that fossil to get credit for it. And it changes every day.
But how much fun for the kids to be able to come here and get put up on that leaderboard when you're doing a good job being basically a little paleontologist.
Yep.
Fun stuff. So let's talk about this turtle skeleton.
We have 6 different species of ancient sea turtle in our fossil record here. This is one of them. This was a deep diving turtle. We can tell that by the way the shell articulates. It was flexible, so this turtle was diving deeply, and this is a reconstruction of what it would have looked like here.
Yeah, check him out. And currently, as we know, we might see later, is you're working on another one, a new one.
Yeah, down in collections and conservation, we have 2 huge turtles that we're working on that are even, much bigger than this one.
So no, this guy's not from Finding Nemo. However, he, being 66 million years old, is who exactly?
Yeah, this is a type of stingray, and stingrays got very modern, a very long time ago. And so this looks like something you could see in the ocean today, but it swam in an ocean with mosasaurs and dinosaurs on the beach.
Right. That's why it looks like the stingray from Finding Nemo. All right, so this shark is what kind of shark?
This is a sand tiger shark. We have about 3 dozen different species of shark in our fossil record here. Sharks back then looked much like sharks do today. Sharks are a really, really ancient lineage. They're much, much older than dinosaurs. Sharks are older than trees.
Really?
Yeah.
Why so old? What was the deal?
Well, being a shark is just a really efficient way of living. They're not warm-blooded, so they don't spend calories heating their body, and they just kind of cruise along, and it's a very efficient way of being a predator. And it's a very successful group of creatures.
So this area is...
We're now in the Hall of Extinction and Hope. And so we show here what happened to the dinosaurs, our uniquely occurring evidence for the demise of the dinosaurs and 75% of species on Earth. This film here, I actually worked with scientists from NASA on it to time all the events for this location. So 66 million years ago, an asteroid hits the planet off the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. At the moment, you wouldn't know anything was amiss here.
Right.
But about 8.5 minutes later, a magnitude 10.3 earthquake rolls through this area. The Earth can't make a magnitude 10.3 earthquake on its own. It has to be hit from the outside and rung like a bell to do that. So big dinosaurs are knocked off their feet that way. And then the deadliest moment here would come at about 17 minutes out. That's when all the fallout, all the ejecta that was launched into the sky re-enters, and it heats up the atmosphere to somewhere between toaster oven and pizza oven. And the dinosaurs that dominated Earth's terrestrial ecosystems for 165 million years, I think they were functionally extinct within an hour after that impact. And then over here, we have an actual meteorite. And so this is on loan to us from the Smithsonian Institution. And like all meteors, this formed with the solar system 4.5 billion years ago. So this is the oldest thing that you can touch. So this rock here formed out there in space 4.5 billion years ago. And then about 50,000 years ago, it hit the Earth. And this is part of the asteroid that formed Meteor Crater in Arizona.
And you can come here and touch this thing. It's wild, right?
Touch it.
It's the oldest thing you can touch. That's crazy.
It's crazy.